It is week 3 of the Wolfey Draft League Season 2, and your Jubilife Piplups are going against the Shoutcasting Sylveons, coached by Nekkra, for the 3rd time in VGC Draft League history. And this is going to be an absolute scary one because I'd consider this to be the hardest matchup for the Jubilife Piplups based on rosters, because let me just say, when I built the team, I thought there would be very limited fairies, especially when there are very small amount of really strong ones. And then not only does Nekkra have Mega Gardevoir, one of the strongest fairy type mons with Hyper Voice Pixelate boosted, you also have the Primarina alongside Mimikyu. So if I thought like one fairy was already going to be problematic, 3 fairies against my team, yeah, I think this is going to be a super rough house. Not only does Nekkra have those combination of the 3 strong fairies, but you also have some pretty big threats. Aegislash and Hydreigon really complement those fairies, making it harder to exploit, especially for my Mega Lucario. And then you also have Pokemon like the Infernape and the Mudsdale, which also are pretty problematic, especially the Infernape, which is able to hit a lot of my Pokemon and outspeed them for a good amount of damage and coverage wise. And Mudsdale is actually hard to remove because I only really have Blastoise and potentially Serena if it isn't like a Stamina Mudsdale, which is going to be pretty rough for my team to remove. So we'll see what I'm able to come up with, but basically I have to kind of commit on what she is going to bring. I do think that the fairies are probably going to be brought. I do think that we are probably going to see at least a Primarina as well as the Mimikyu, and I do think Gardevoir should come because its offense is pretty good, and then the rest is kind of a toss-up. I'm thinking Infernape is going to probably be brought here because I think it has really good speed synergy against my team because it outspeeds most of my team in general. The Mudsdale, I think a Tricker mode is definitely very likely. Primarina, Mimikyu, Gardevoir, and Mudsdale both take advantage of Trick Room, so I think that's definitely going to be a thing. And then I think for the last, it can be a little bit tough because Aegislash is not an easy mon for my team to break through. Hydreigon can be scary, especially with a Choice Scarf variant. The Jolteon speed control with Electroweb can make it hard for my Mega Lucario, which is normally able to outspeed stuff like the Gardevoir. Maybe have to think twice about it. And then, of course, there is going to be the potential to Crab, but I would say I'm focusing on the fairies, Infernape, and the Mudsdale for this encounter. So let us see what I ended up coming up with to take on the Shoutcasting Sylveons. So this is my team for week 3 of the Draft League, and the idea here is going to be similar to week 1, where I have to preserve Mega Lucario, and I need Mega Lucario to stick around because it's like my only way to really be able to hit like a lot of the Pokemon on our team. Think of the fairies, and there's multiple of them, so I'm going to need Mega Lucario to actually potentially stick around for quite a while. So the idea here is going to be bringing the Mega Lucario, which should be good into, like, of course, the Gardevoir. The Primarina is able to do a ton of damage, and Mimikyu if I'm able to set up correctly. So this is going to be the idea. I'm going to be bringing the Mega Lucario, which is going to be a really bulky variant to be able to stick around. Drain Punch Recovery still able to threaten the damage into the Hydreigon for a knockout, which is pretty big. And Meteor Mash and Bullet Punch does allow me to play around any forms of speed control that she might end up bringing. And Vivian with Friend Guard, which is really nice because it's able to help the Mega Lucario take attacks. Rage Powder redirection is really solid. And then Pollen Puff and Struggle Bug are really nice. Pollen Puff for recovery, and of course Struggle Bug to be able to lower the damage output of the special attackers. Think of that Mega Gardevoir, think of the Primarina, think of the Hydreigon. Like having one Struggle Bug to be able to break sashes, and of course then allow Mega Lucario to really go in. That's kind of the goal with my week here, which I think is probably one of the best combos I could bring into her team. And I do think that I do have to bring my Fairy Resist into this matchup because otherwise it can be a little bit tricky to maneuver. So we will be bringing the Rotom Heat here, the Pasha Berry to help out with the Primarina's water type moves, and the specially defensive one that's just able to tank attacks. I'm going with quite a bit of speed on this Rotom. I believe it is in order to be able to outspeed the max speed Aegislash in case she goes like with like a Sash variant. And I do have the Willis for the Aegislash if it's physical, the Mimikyu, which can be nice, as well as the ability to potentially burn that Mudsdale, which I think can be a bit of a problem for my team, especially into my Mega Lucario mode. And then I guess as well as the Crab, since it's still good into it. Overheat for the damage. Light Screen seems pretty good, especially because all those hyper voices that threaten a lot of damage. I do think Light Screen can allow my Mega Lucario, especially with Friend Guard, just to really sponge up those special attacks. So that's going to be the idea behind this Rotom Heat. Then next, I do think I need, again, more backup into the Mudsdale. Mudsdale's just a hard Pokemon to remove, especially if it's like a Stamina Mudsdale. So I'm going to be bringing Dual Mega with Blastoise just in case, because I think the Water Pulse angle is still pretty good, and there are like routes I can go with Mega Blastoise, which is decent against their team, although I can't really break through the really powerful fairies with Blastoise. I do see maybe an angle where I could do Blastoise Snorlax, or I bring both Megas and I just Mega Evolve according to what's better in the situation. So I'm running Water Pulse because I don't think Water Spout is very good here. Even though I do have Pollen Puff and ways to reduce damage output, I kind of rather just go for like reliable damage with Water Pulse, which I think is pretty important against Mudsdale. Just consistent damage is pretty neat. Dark Pulse is being able to hit the Aegislash, which is pretty important. And then I have Aura Spear, which is also able to hit the Hydreigon, which can be nice here. I was going to have Flash Cannon, but I found out Flash Cannon isn't boosted by Mega Launcher. I thought it was, but apparently it's not, so that's a bit unfortunate. But that's going to be the Blastoise. It's mainly here specifically to handle the Mudsdale, which is the biggest threat to Mega Lucario in my opinion. Then the rest, I kind of had to figure out, like, okay, what are my best answers? And I think Snorlax, even though it's not a true Fairy Resist, it does have some pretty good special defense, so it can kind of switch into the Hyper Voices. And if there is a Trick Room route, which Mega Lucario, I think, is going to struggle more into the Trick Room route, I do think that this Snorlax with Gunk Shot is at least able to threaten the Fairies. Although, if we learned anything about my last season against Nekkra, the Gunk Shots weren't exactly in my favor, but I do think that Gunk Shot Snorlax is probably my best bring here, because I kind of need that initial damage into Primarina, because Primarina in Trick Room can be super devastating for my team. So we're going with Gunk Shot, and then High Horsepower is able to hit the Aegislash, which is pretty important to me, as well as it can chip away the Infernape, which is pretty solid as well. And then Curse, because I've been getting the attack defense boost, even though there is potential Sacred Sword on the Aegislash, can be pretty nice depending on the situation, and can be set up against Mudsdale as well. Final Pokemon on the team, I felt like I was a little bit weak to potential Jolteon Electroweb strategies that Nekkra could bring, so we're going to go with the Dragapult. It's also decent into Infernape because of the fact that it's of course a ghost type, so immune to the close combat while resisting the fire type moves. So I felt like I was a little bit weak to Infernape and Jolteon as potential brings, so we are bringing the Dragapult with that Dragon Fang, because I really didn't know what to put on item wise, so I felt like, okay, extra damage with the Dragon Darts might be important. I was doing calcs with like Roselli and some other items, but I think with the combination of Friend Guard as well as Light Screen, it might be not as necessary, and the damage might be important. I need to like two-shot like Jolteon with the Dragon Darts potentially, so we're going to go with Dragon Darts. And then we're going to go with support, because Thunder Wave allows my Lucario to outspeed like a faster Mega Gardevoir. She does bring a pretty fast one, as well as again like Infernape and multiple other threats, Hydreigon too. And then Will-O-Wisp, which is still pretty nice to have, especially because, again, the Mudsdale can be scary, Aegislash can be scary, being able to burn the Mimikyu is pretty nice, so that is going to be the idea here. My main goal, hopefully, is to try and allow Mega Lucario to be enabled. I think Mega Lucario plus Vivillon should be pretty good. Blastoise is also a decent option with Vivillon and can take advantage of Pollen Puff. So we'll see if this is going to be good enough to be able to win, because, again, I do think that this is going to be a really tough one. So let us get into the match versus Nekkra right now. All right, we have week 3. Ooh, wait, we're seeing the Crab. No Gardevoir, huh? So we have Mimikyu, Aegislash, no Mudsdale either, which I'm actually very shocked by. Or Jolteon, huh? A lot of Mons were not brought what I thought. Okay, we got Aegislash and Infernape, or wait, there's no Mudsdale. What's the Mon I'm missing? Primarina, okay. So it looks like a Trick Room committed team here, which I don't mind dealing with Trick Room, because I did design my Lax to be pretty good against Trick Room teams in general. So that will be pretty solid here. I guess I don't need Dragapult in this game then, because Dragapult doesn't really do that much. My Rotom's pretty fantastic here, especially if we get Light Screen up. Trying to figure out what my best combo here is. I think it's probably like Rotom, Heat, Vivillon, Blastoise, and Snorlax are probably like my best mons to go against this. Yeah. I think it's probably just Blastoise lead. Blastoise plus Rotom seems pretty solid in general. I do like it. And I do want Pollen Puff Vivillon, so we'll bring the Vivillon, and then I think Snorlax back. Dealing with the Crab might be a bit annoying, but I mean, we do have Blastoise. Oh wait, I didn't lead right. Yeah, this is what I want to go. I think this should be pretty alright here as a plan. Because Screens and Wisp Rotom is really good here. I'm kind of curious on the Mimikyu as Woodhammer because that was a thing I was debating about. But alright. Information is going to be really important on the sets. Mimikyu Crab immediately. Okay, interesting. Versus Rotom plus Blastoise. I can't really get rid of Mimikyu. I can Wisp the Crab here if I want to. I think Wisping the Crab isn't too bad. I think I'm just going to go for the Wisping the Crab immediately. And I think we just go for a Dark Pulse because we can get a flinch onto Mimikyu. We break the Disguise as well, which is also pretty nice. So I think that's definitely worth it. Yeah, I'm going to go for that play. Even if the Protect is super obvious from Crab, I still think that this is the best play. So we know the Crab is a Mega Stone. Let's see if it's a Protect or not. Because it is vulnerable, but I'm kind of curious if they do decide to or not. Alright, so Crab here. I wonder what's the back. Maybe Primarina and then Aegislash? Could be Hydreigon, but we'll see. Okay, they Mega Evolve, so kind of curious if they Mega Evolve just to attack immediately or not. I don't mind taking damage because I can always recover the HP with Pollen Puff in the mid game, so let's see. Okay, they just Protect. Okay, so do we get the flinch here? Because if we get the flinch, that'd be really nice, but let's see. Wisp is going to go into the Protect. I also want to calc probably how much close combat does to me. I wonder if they have Taunt on their Mimikyu as well. Nice. As I said before, we could get the flinch. I'm going to play for the flinch. So we have a few plays now. We can double the Crab if we want to. We could also double the Mimikyu as well. But I'm really liking the spot now. I wonder if I could also just Thunderbolt plus Aura Spear the Crab here for the knockout, which would be pretty nice here. That would give the Primarina a chance to come in though, which is not amazing, but I think it's okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna Thunderbolt Aura Spear the Crab here, I think. Because we get to punish any switches, potentially. Unless it's Aegislash. But it's going to be Primarina. So I do get a Thunderbolt off, which is pretty juicy. As well as... Okay, it's Woodhammer on the Mimikyu. Yep, as I kind of anticipated. Do take a lot of damage, but that's acceptable. Okay. So we get a Thunderbolt off into the Primarina slot. And I do get an Aura Spear. So not bad damage. Yeah, here's an Aura Spear. Are they gonna get Trick 'em Up or not is the question, I think. But that is also fast Mimikyu. Because the Mimikyu has some speed. Yeah, the Mimikyu has some speed to outspeed my Rotom. Okay. So I'm curious if Trick 'em is going to even bother going up in this game. But I think Thunderbolt in the Primarina is pretty fine. As well as going to Snorlax here. I think this is a pretty general safe play. I'm trying to debate about like what's coming out next, but if they decide to protect Prim, that's fine. The Mimikyu can't really do much here. Thunderbolt's just really safe into the Primarina in general. I don't mind taking a Woodhammer with Lax. I'm just curious if they even bother getting Trick 'em Up, because if they get Trick 'em Up, it's actually not terrible for me because Snorlax is in a pretty good position under Trick Room, especially with no Mudsdale to have to worry about. So we bring out the Snorlax. They protect Primarina, which is fine. I'm assuming that this is Trick Room attempt. As we go for Thunderbolt. And Trick 'em does go up. Okay. I wonder if the Primarina's mint speed on this team. I probably... Even if it's mint speed, it doesn't outspeed my Lax. So I always just get a high horsepower off and KO the Primarina slot. So I think I just go for a Wisp into the Primarina as well as a high horsepower. There's like not much that she can do to cover for this play. I could also Curse as well, but I don't think that's really necessary. I think I'm just gonna high horsepower and Wisp. As Mimikyu does get hit, or Primarina does get hit by the high horsepower, it goes down, beautiful. And I'm able to get a Wisp off into the Mimikyu. So I get to see if it's Lumberry or not. I should also be writing down my notes. It is Lumberry. Okay, so it's Lumberry on the Mimikyu, which is fine. Wisp and Lax is fine. Okay. I do not mind this at all. So, I wonder what the last move is. Alright, that's a pretty good start. Is this Crab coming in? If it's Crab, I'm going Vivian. Because we do have Friend Guard Vivian, which should be pretty good here, I'd say. If it's Aegislash, I think I just go for Curse. Okay, Crab does come in. That makes sense. Crabominable. This definitely lives in Overheat, right? From Rotom? Yes, it does. Okay. So I think I just go for a Wisp here into the Crab. And I think I just hard swap into Vivian for the Friend Guard. This covers like a fighting move into Snorlax as well, which is pretty good for me. So I don't really see too much of a punish play here. They also didn't taunt, and I am faster with my Rotom under Trick Room, so this should be generally pretty good. Okay, Mimikyu Lumberry, which makes this a lot easier. I guess if they have Rock Slide, this is annoying, but I don't know if the Crab's gonna run Rock Slide here. Like, I think they'd rather just Fighting Move, right? Like, I think Fighting Move makes more sense to just get damage off into Rotom, but we'll see. Go out into Vivian. We have Friend Guard active. Ice Hammer to Rotom. What? I guess she was reading a switch. Okay, that's actually really good for me. Nice, we land a Wisp here too, which is really good. Okay, so we get a Wisp off into the Crab, which is amazing for me. What does Mimikyu go for? Shadow Claw and the Rotom as well, double up wise. Okay. Which we take pretty well here. Okay, pretty good spot, I'd say. How many turns of Trick Room are left? Two? Two. I think we'll live Ice Hammer into any other attack that she would want to go for. So I think my play here... Do I want to Wisp the Mimikyu? Because I do need to start getting rid of Mimikyu as well, or do I just want to eliminate the Crab? I think keeping the Crab around is fine. I think I'm just going to go for the burn in a Mimikyu and protect the Vivian. I think this is fine. Because I want to keep the Friend Guard up on Vivian. And I would like to burn the Mimikyu so it's doing less damage. Because I don't know if Thunderbolt 2-shot. Drain Punch is fine. Yeah, that does nothing. Okay. So it's Drain Punch. That's what I thought. Nice. Land another Wisp, which is huge. So we're getting decently lucky here, hitting all our moves here, which is acceptable. We do get the Wisp off into the Mimikyu. And we are going to see a Shadow Claw as well in the Rotom, which doesn't do too much damage. I wonder if... Hold on. How much does Crab do to Vivian? Crabominable versus my Vivian. Burned. It does way too much. Okay. I think we switch out into Blastoise and we switch out into Snorlax. I'm not a huge fan of letting them get another Trick 'em Up, but we'll see. I really wonder what the last Pokemon is. I guess Inferno could be a bit scary. They go for Ice Hammer. They miss, which isn't that big of a deal. That wasn't really much damage. They go for Shadow Claw, double up. You're trying to get rid of Vivian. Okay. I do not mind that spot. What is Crab range for Aura Spear on Blastoise? Aura Spear, it's not in range. Is the Mimikyu in range of Water Pulse potentially? Water Pulse, it's super close. It depends on... Well, if she has speed, I don't know if she could be sacrificing attack here. I think I'm going to go for the KO into Mimikyu with high horsepower plus a Water Pulse. Woodhammer, don't think KOs after the burn. No, it does not. A double up will, though. I just don't know if she wants another Trick 'em Up or not. No, she went for Woodhammer. I should have protected. Wait, that KO'd? Oh, I miscalculated. That's not good. That's really not good. Okay. I do get a high horsepower off into the Mimikyu. Interesting speed order that we just found out too. Drain Punch. Oh my goodness, wait, am I trolling? I might be trolling this endgame. Oh no, I might be trolling this endgame. I might have trolled really bad by not going Vivian for the Snorlax slot. I think I should have. Rotom's way too low. I think I need to go Vivian and I need to Pollen Puff my Rotom. That is not good. That is really not good. Okay, I'm gonna go Rotom and Pollen Puff. Oh, that was super bad by me. I should have just Water Pulsed the Mimikyu. Or not Water Pulse the Mimikyu, I should have protected. Or I go Vivian there and Water Pulse. That was also pretty fair play. Because having the Friend Guard active would have been really nice. I think she's gonna give up on the Trick Room idea though. But I'm kind of curious on if she's gonna Ice Hammer or just gonna go for Drain Punch. She could go for Trick Room, but if she goes for Trick Room, it's acceptable. But my Lax not being the best spot. Rotom. And Pollen Puff. Shadow Claw, okay. Crit is bad. Okay, Ice Hammer. Alright, this is doable, but it's not pretty. Kinda depends on what our last is. How much do I do to Crab with Rotom? It's not in range. I think this is just a Shadow Claw attempt from her and just Drain Punch my Rotom. So I think I have to go for a Thunderbolt into the Crab. The question is, do I Curse here? I guess I could Curse. I think I Curse with Lax here. Mach Punch. Okay, that's fine. Wood Hammer double up 2. Okay. What is her last? She has to be confident it KOs my Rotom, but I have no clue what it is at this point. I do get a Thunderbolt off into the Crab. The damage is actually kind of important here, so that works out for me. Did I ever reveal Protect? I don't think I think I did, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Alright, what's the final Pokemon? I wanted a defense boost. I could have protected Lax, but that's fine too. Alright, what's the final? Is it Aegislash? Unfortunately, I do not have Protect on Rotom. If it's Hydreigon, I just lose. What's her last? I think I just made a mistake with playing aggressive with the Blastoise. I didn't have to play aggressive with the Blastoise, and that definitely messed me up. Alright. What's her last? Is it Aegislash? Oh, Infernape. Oh, I definitely lose. Okay, she had Infernape back. I think I just go for Overheat and High Horsepower. There's not like much I can do. She can Mach Punch, which probably KOs the Lax here. And maybe just go for Close Combat into Rotom. She could fake out the Rotom as well. Like, she has a lot of plays. Back Infernape. So Blastoise was right. I just need to keep it healthy. That was just a mistake on my part. Okay, they fake out the Rotom and Drain Punch the Snorlax. High Horsepower into Infernape. Wait, I actually get damage on Infernape, which I'm actually surprised by. Okay, her Crab is min speed because I do with Curse. I'm surprised I actually outsped still the Crab, but that's funny. Do I hope that Infernape doesn't have an accurate way to beat the Rotom? I think so. If she has close combat, it KOs anyway, yeah, so I think I just go for overheat in the crab. Unless she Mach Punches, then I should T-Bolt. So she has Fake Out Infernape. Close combat, okay. It might be Sash. It is... That did 78, that did... She could be Jolly or Adamant, but she's definitely max attack. Okay. Alright, I threw that one really hard. I did not play that one as well as I think I could. Well, I played fine at the start. I just like let the Blastoise go down when I really shouldn't have. I think the plan is generally fine. But let's see what we can accomplish here. I'm not too worried about the crab though. With the plan she's been doing, so I guess that's okay. I think I still want to lead Blastoise plus Rotom, because Blastoise Rotom is just generally a safe lead against the board. I think it's still Vivian and Snorlax back. I don't have to bring Lax is the thing, but I don't think it's bad here for me to have. She could adjust by bringing Primarina though as a lead, which would be pretty tough. I could also try out a Lucario mode, but I don't think Lucario is that good here. Unless I get the damage in a Mimikyu, but then it's still like really tough to deal with the crab. I could do Vivian though with it. But I think I'll stick to this plan for game 2. No Aegislash was interesting here. I wonder if she'll bring the Hydreigon. This crab though is a lot tougher than I thought. I thought Gardevoir was coming, but I guess she really didn't want to play around the Mega Lucario potential. Alright. Alright, we're gonna see Mimikyu Infernape. Okay. I mean, this is a good lead for me, at least. Because that Blastoise plus Rotom's in a good spot. I wonder if she has Faint. Does Infernape close combat into my Blastoise do that much? It does a lot, but it's not where Woodhammer would be a roll. I think I just reveal Protect here. I think I just Mega Ball Protect. And I think I just go for a Thunderbolt immediately into the Infernape. Because I do need to get rid of Infernape. I think Infernape is a problem. I don't know if Fake Out's going to come out. I think Fake Out Blastoise is fair, but we'll see. Close Combat Woodhammer could come out into the Blastoise the following turn, so I think I have to risk the Vivian Sash, which is fine. Fake Out does go into Blastoise, so that's a good start. I'm hoping this is a Woodhammer double up. Yep, perfect. Okay, I did get that right play right. Here's a Thunderbolt. How much does this do to Infernape? Barely, potentially missing a 2-shot, but if she close combat, she does get knocked out here. The question is she going to go for close combat Woodhammer, or is she going to read Vivian? But I think I always go Vivian here and just Thunderbolt anyway. Let's see. She could also close combat my Rotom, and if she close combats my Rotom, I have Friend Guard, which is nice. And that means Vivian will live the turn because of the... Or will live the turn guaranteed. So this is not terrible, I suppose. This Mimikyu speed is just being really weird for me because I thought if she went Trick Room, she was going to go like really slow. But the Mimikyu being fast is actually kind of tough. Okay, she did close combat my Rotom, so... The Friend Guard being really nice here. As we get a Thunderbolt off into the Infernape. Great. Trick Room goes up. Alright. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either, realistically. So is Crab coming in? Yeah, Crab is coming in. I don't think she has Rock Slide. I think she has probably Thunder Punch. How much do I think she's doing to my Rotom? Because we know she doesn't have Shadow Sneak. Crabominable. Drain Punch with Friend Guard. Oh, Rotom is the GOAT, man. Rotom is the GOAT. You know what? I'm gonna Pollen Puff the Rotom. I might play Greedy here. Can I play Greedy here? I want to read Drain Punch, but I think it's just Protect Vivian and go for a Wisp into the Crab. She could protect the Crab and go for Shadow Claw, which is fine. She could double up my Rotom, but if she doubles up my Rotom, that's fine too. Because I do get the burn into Crab, and then I think I'm in a good spot with Blastoise, but we'll see. I just don't know if she's going to go for Ice Hammer or Drain Punch. It's kind of a read here, but we'll see. Good play. I should have Pollen Puffed. Oh, no, no. That's just terrible. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, it's not the worst, but that is pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Aw. I need the Crab burned, or I just don't have a chance. She's probably going to Ice Hammer and Shadow Claw, and I just can't do anything about it. Unfortunately, Vivian's going down unless I dodge the Ice Hammer now. Oh, that's so bad. Okay. And if it's Prim back, this is looking pretty rough. Oh, that's not good. Unless she Mach Punches. Unless she Mach Punches. If she Mach Punches, this is really good for me. So we Rage Powder. No, yeah, she Ice Hammers. Okay. Oh, I'm on such a back foot because of that Wisp Miss, but I shouldn't have opened my mouth from the game one. Oh, come on. Okay, this game just loves beating me down. I think that's just a guaranteed loss at this point then. Yeah, I just can't win, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there's no world where I can win. What's better? Okay, what can I do to get out of this scenario? I could go for Aura Spear. I could go for Dark Pulse Flinch and a Mimikyu. I don't think Breaking the Disguise is important as getting the damage in a Crab. I think I need the Aura Spear damage and I need to go for an Overheat, I'm pretty sure. This could be Drain Punch plus Wood Hammer. Okay, into the Rotom. Unfortunately, this draft league has not been super kind to me as of recent. I do think that this was gonna be tough regardless though, but losing that momentum into the Crab, I think I should have went for the Pollen Puff though. I think Pollen Puff would have definitely been better. Okay, this game is probably cooked. Unless High Horse, I guess High Horsepower can knock out the Crab, so maybe I have a chance. I double protect, then I can go for a Gunk Shot or High Horsepower into Crab. I think High Horsepower should get the Crab at this rate. Actually, no, I do have to go for Gunk Shot because Crab is actually bulkier than I thought. Yeah, I have to go for Gunk Shot. Alright. Goes for a Wisp and the Lax, okay. Actually, she could also have a line here where she protects Crab and goes for Woodhammer into Blastoise. But yeah, there's not much I can do. I think I just Dark Pulse the Mimikyu and I go for the Gunk Shot. I think I have to go for a misplay anyway. I don't think I can really go for Curse, and I don't think she's going to let me go for Curse yet. She's going to go for Woodhammer KO my Blastoise. If I land a Gunk Shot, maybe there's a chance. Okay, we hit the gunk shot. We can't hit Wisp, but we can hit the gunk shot. Crab goes down. I have an answer to Prim, I suppose, if Prim's is the last one. If I dodge a Wisp, I have a chance, I suppose. Oh, it's Hydreigon. Okay, I think she wins. Well played to Nekkra. Unfortunate about this game too, but not much I could do. I think I should have played way more aggressive with Vivillon Pollen Puff. I needed to play way more aggressive with Vivillon Pollen Puff. I guess if I dodge Wisp, maybe Snorlax can win. I don't know. I have Dragon Pulse. Yeah, we're cooked. Yeah, okay. I think I need to land Gunk Shot, get a Poison, dodge Wisp. I think I needed all of those factors to have a chance here. Now, yeah. I was like, how did I get damage into the Mimikyu? But it's just been Mimikyu getting Woodhammer recoil. Well prepped from Nekkra, though. I think prep-wise, I don't hate my prep. I think my prep was fine. I think it was just still going to be tough regardless. Unfortunately, Light Screen didn't really come into play for my Rotom. Having Protect would have been way better for having ways to stall out Trick Room. But I think the Friend Guard Viv was good. I don't mind the Blastoise even though it didn't do as much because I still need an answer to Aegislash regardless. But yeah. I just have not been feeling that great for this league, unfortunately, but sometimes that is how it goes. I think we'll at least make it a close differential, but I don't know if we can make playoffs even if we win 4 games in a row, or 4 sets in a row, and we would have to win all 4 sets in a row and probably have a good differential. And we get the poison, so at least it's like a 1-0 differential here, but oh yeah, no Lumberry. Okay, yeah. Oh man, I knew this was gonna be a tough one. But I'm not even mad that I lost this one. I'm more mad at the fact that I had a position to win game 1 and I feel like I did just throw it away. I do think I had way more optimal plays to probably secure the end game, especially with the great start. So I'm more mad at myself for just allowing that. But I do think that Nekkra played extremely well. Like that was very well done by her. She was able to catch like a few of the calls that I was able to make. Sure, there was like some Will-O-Wisp miss that could have impacted of course, the Crabominable, but I think overall, like, there wasn't too much that I had enabled, and I think I had to make like way more hard commitments. I think with this matchup, I just really needed to commit more, and I didn't really do that. So she was able to take advantage of that. She made pretty general safe plays that were really well executed, where I wasn't able to do much, and I was forced into a difficult spot pretty much near every single turn, especially against the Crab. So really well done to her, and unfortunately your Jubilife Piplups are going to be going to 0-3, but I do think it might be possible to make playoffs, but I'm going to have to hope for like a lot of things to happen that are outside my control in the upcoming parts, especially against the other opponents, because I'm going to need some other opponents to start fumbling, and I'm going to have to also like really win out because my differential is not great. So Jubilife Piplups season, it's not over yet, but it is going to be a tough one to try and reclaim the title, but we take it 1 week at a time. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we go back into shape week 4. I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now, but hopefully truly this is going to be the case this time. So GG's to Nekkra, really well played on her part, really well drafted, especially she got me with the Crab adjustment. I was not expecting that one at all. No Gardevoir I thought was like dang, but like I guess I under-respected the Crab, and she played extremely well.